Buenos dias, mis amores, and welcome back to Sun Up on 7. We have an amazing next dynamic conversation because we're having a lot of weeks. We're having Wellness Week, we're having Older Persons Week, and we have two amazing representatives today to talk about all the activities and how you can get involved. We have here on the couch Miss Marilyn Ordonez, who is the treasurer of Help Age Belize City, as well as Miss Ivorine Bulwer, who is the executive director. How are you doing, beautiful ladies?
I'm alive, so I'm happy.
That is the energy we want. I love your blouse, by the way. It's like, it's a puff. It's a puff for me. Yeah.
Thank you, Deb.
So tell us, Older Persons Week. I always get excited because we've had this conversation before. We've had representatives in already talking about it. We've had a dance before. It's been fun. And it's good to celebrate and respect and appreciate our older persons because they have a wealth of knowledge, they have a wealth of love, and they're so important to the overall development of our country. What are we doing for them this week?
I think first we need to start out with the team. The team. Annually, October 1st is celebrated as International Day of Older Persons. Okay. However, HelpAge don't want to have a day of activity. We do a week. A splashing activity across the country. And the theme for this year is the resilience and contributions of older women.
Ooh!
Yes.
Can you say that theme again? Because I like the way you say it.
The resilience and contributions of older women.
Man.
And I need to explain that. Why?
Yeah.
I think what had happened, COVID, for the past 3 years, COVID had exposed the vulnerabilities, especially of women.
Yeah.
In the socioeconomic aspect, in the health aspect, the political realm, and climate change. And it's something that we need to examine and look at seriously. Because, as we said, a woman has been part of the growth and development of the populace.
Definitely.
They nurtured. They are behind political campaigns. They are behind whatever our children are doing at schools. When it comes to hurricane, they are mobilizing. But what COVID had shown, the vulnerabilities, their needs, they don't have income. And we need to recognize that so many of our women stayed at home. And even if they were got jobs, they were in social services.
Yeah.
The salaries are rather small. They retire, the pension is low. The social security is also small. And we have HelpAge, we have first-hand experience of the challenges of those who are receiving a pension or those who are not receiving a pension, whether it's a woman or a man. And it's something that honestly we need to address. And why the exposure, we saw that shutdown occur, that month shutdown occur, how it was a challenge for a woman to survive. We know we had members, they were out on the street because their survival is selling their product. They weren't going around with cart, but they had their knapsacks on their back and they were selling. We had older person moving with others as a source, as a means of survival.
Wow.
And what was extremely saddening is that because of the social isolation, the loneliness, you know that social isolation, it does affect the brain volume that deals with the cognitive level, that deals with factors of sensory factors, factors that deal with appreciation, that deals with interaction. Yeah. That volume lowers. And we saw some of our older persons, they were showing signs of dementia. Oh, wow. And it all had to do with that brain volume as it relates to the cognitive level. All right? You know, your mom would say, your grandma would say, I know going to see it because when they come back last.
Yeah.
And it's the loss, the stimulation, that memory stimulation, that sensory stimulation. The volume is reduced tremendously. And we saw some of our older persons, we were taken aback. They were disoriented. Remember their name, their age, and that was frightening. But what was a kind of relief when that social isolation reduced, we saw them coming around. They were more, they start getting alert. So it's something, those are anecdotes.
Yeah. We're definitely seeing, is a rebound, just like our theme this year, Valiant and Bold, Proud and Strong, Belize rebounds at 41. You think
Yes.
about the fact that we're getting to a better place.
Yes.
So, Ms. Ordonez, I want to ask, when it comes to our women specifically, because of our theme, what are ways in which the public, you think, can be able to impact their lives and help out, especially if you can't be there physically? So, like, what can the public do? What role, responsibility do we have when it comes to the development, the care, the appreciation, the love of our older persons, specifically our mothers, the women, the foundation of a lot of people upbringing?
Right. Well, from my perspective, I believe that most people respect their mothers, their grandmothers, and surprisingly, a lot of young people now realize that the older people, the grandmothers, the mothers, they have so much to share.
Yes.
Because that is where a wealth of knowledge is. As a matter of fact, I know that a lot of people, maybe older than not the very young, who would think that it is the young people who needs to bring out what the country needs. But older people have experience.
That is so true.
Especially mothers, grandmothers. We have been public officers, and we have gained so much knowledge and experience during our journey through the public service. And that experience is not overnight. It's gradually. Every day you learn something. And by the time you are ready to retire, there is so much that you know about the job, about the policies, everything that you can share.
Definitely.
Now, yes, we do appreciate that the younger people need to get involved, but you cannot leave out that experience from the older people. And I will say, I have to big up the women in Belize, because we're not down there, The older women in Belize have headed many of the governmental organizations. Miss Ivo right here, she was the, I know the name changed from time to time. I knew it as the principal nursing officer. She was the director of nursing services
at KHMH.
At KHMH. And at KHMH, where I worked for a short time, a lot of the women, and they were older women nurses, who headed departments.
Wow.
At the time I was there, the CEO was a woman. So we do have a lot of women in Belize City who have played an important role in developing and shaping Belize City.
That's
right? So we have to realize that our older women in Belize City have carried a large part of the mantle of building Belize City, building Belize, sorry.
Definitely.
And I can say we have women such as Jane Usher. She worked up to maybe almost 100 when she couldn't go any longer, right? So we have older women, you wouldn't know, but Gwen Lizaraga was an older politician.
Yes. Yeah.
And she was responsible for doing a lot of housing with, in the area where I live and Miss Ivo live, that is the Queen Square area. She was responsible for ensuring that women got lots. So the lot that where I live, it was through that lady who my mother was in a group, and they all around that area were women who got lots to build on, or houses. So we have older women who have participated in Belize, and they continue to do so. So we believe that you can't put aside
You have to include them in the
older,
conversation.
and I would say older people, but older women have really done a lot in Belize
And
City.
shaped.
So
It's undeniable, of
have
course.
shaped Belize City.
And so
Yes.
in that same regard now, we're celebrating them. Our theme is based on
Yes.
what are the activities that we have planned for Older Persons Week and how can we get involved?
Okay, well, we have activities countrywide.
Okay.
And I think Ms. Ivo had I don't know if you mentioned that we have 9 different centers.
9-day centers.
9-day centers where
2 residential homes.
Right. So in Belize City, we started yesterday
Okay.
with a lively church service at the
love it.
Port Loyola Baptist Church. They were very welcoming, and the ladies enjoyed the service, praising God and thanking God for being here, giving us life, and sharing with their congregation. So that was very nice. And today we are having, for the entire week, except on Thursday when the Secretariat will take over to do shuttings, we have speeches
Okay.
at between 2 to 4. We'll be having, today is Renee.
Renee
Villanueva is on today. And then tomorrow we have a trip to Kikiwitz. I don't know if you know where Kikiwitz
yes,
is.
we do.
Yes,
What?
yes,
Oh,
yes.
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 We do things in style.
Yes.
For sure.
So Miss Diana Fuller and Dean, they're hosting the group from Belize City Help Age, and they'll be going up there for a short picnic.
I love
Yes, yes. And so that's tomorrow. And then Wednesday we have another,
The mayor.
the mayor, right. The mayor will be coming to Help Age between 2 and 4 to discuss with the elderly and about their contribution to Belize City, of course. And Thursday, of course,
We serve the shut-ins.
they
A
always
special meal.
it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there are persons who cannot come out, so we go to them.
yes.
We go to them.
And then on Friday, I think we have Minister Dolores
Yes.
Panoramas who will be coming to discuss again with the elderlies. And I say elderlies, I can't only say women. We have a couple of males,
Males, yes.
yes, who have been coming, which is very good,
Yeah.
but mainly women. They're a very lively bunch.
I could imagine.
Yes. Oh, yes.
They don't know.
Very lively.
They don't play.
And I just need
No.
to share that across the country, we have quite a number of activities going on.
Yes.
Individuals will be on different radio shows.
Okay.
They're doing picnics. They're having dance. I mean, Corozal, they're a set by themselves. They're all young. They're all teenagers, males and females.
You as young as you feel, you know.
You
no
got
make
it
your age
right.
tell you anything.
You got it right.
Have birth
That's right.
You got
certificate. That don't mean nothing.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Benke, the same thing. Octavia Waite, Sister Cecilia, they are having a bunch of activities for the elderly. Really fun, Phil. And I say we have dynamic public officers who are doing a great job across this country. We have Dangriga, we have San Ignacio, we have Hopkins, Belmopan, you know, and it's just energizing, just showing our older persons how much we care for them.
Yeah.
I observed yesterday, Octavia Waite was issuing certificates of recognition to our seniors for their contributions to Belize. I thought that was beautiful.
Yeah. And
You
they
know?
cherish those things.
Yes.
Oh,
They
yes.
really
Oh,
cherish
yes.
them.
Oh,
You know, and I need to say that because it's not only the centers, there are communities. There are entities like BEL, like Grace Kennedy. We have ICB. We have what?
BL. Oh, you said BL.
I said BEL, and others who rarely contribute to Help Age. I mean, these are entities, individuals. During COVID, as I said, they allowed us to be in touch with our elderly. They've provided us with funds. So we were able to see our older persons on a weekly basis,
Wow.
to observe them, to do referrals, to give support. All right? We never closed our door during COVID. And at this time, it's important for me to say thank you, because the general public spoke of older persons as being vulnerable. But we had great care attendants who were there to serve these older persons. We had COVID, we had outbreaks, and we had care attendants did a splendid job. And we had no deaths within our homes caring for COVID. They were scared. We had like 3 persons in Belize City who live out district. We provided accommodation, and they came to work, to serve. They experienced fears within themselves, but we were able to discuss their fear, offer that support. So I need to thank all those people who served our elderly.
Especially during a trying time
during
like that.
COVID, And it's sad, but we have a lot of work to do.
We do.
Because we see the gaps. We had to enter homes across this country. And it was really a sad situation because we saw poverty. We saw emotional distress. And what very, very important, we have to address the health issues of our older persons. Many of our older persons have like pharmacies with medication. So it's simply saying there's a lot of work to do in the area of primary care. There's a lot to do as it pertains to ensuring the wellness of our older persons. Yes, we have specialist clinic, and I have to mention this. We have specialist clinic, but specialist clinic supposed to be there to make referrals to our older persons, to get their eye checks, to get their feet checks, to inform them, to educate them. We need to have support group. They need to have an understanding not only for the distribution of medications, but have an understanding of how to take these medications. It's not only giving the medication, but understanding why.
Yeah.
And you find out that quite a number of these older persons had their own little pharmacies. They weren't taking their meds. Okay, you need to take your medication after you eat, but it's 10 o'clock, and your medication's supposed to be every 8 hours.
Yeah.
10 o'clock, you have not taken it. So that understanding of why and the frequency, so you recognize that the older person, along with the family, need to be offered education to better care for themselves.
Most definitely. It's a thing where, family have to pitch in a lot more. You definitely need more volunteers. For people that are asking, it's Older Persons Week, because I know some people that are like, is it Senior Week? Is it Elder Week? No, it's Older Persons Week. It's actually celebrated on a day, October 1st, but because we extra and we love our older persons so much, we need to celebrate a whole week. Okay, and we don't have to just celebrate for just a week. It can be a continuous process every single day. If you have time, I always tell people, check in with your grandparents, check in if you can go and volunteer. I had the privilege of volunteering at Sister Cecilia, and I loved it so much. We did karaoke and bingo and all of that, and it was like a fun time. Help out if you can. If you have a little extra time, stop in, hear the stories. It's like going to make your day, and that's the thing where I really want people to take away when it comes to celebrating our older persons. It's not much that you have to do. We're not necessarily asking you for the biggest finances. Your presence itself does wonders for them and shows them that you care, that that you value them.
Yes.
And that takes them to a different place. Because just like you said, there was isolation during COVID, where a lot of them didn't have the chance to tell their stories, to talk, to know exactly what's happening for the most part. And so it's our part now to try our best to rebound and help them as much as we can. But we want to thank you so much for being here today. As we're closing off, is there any final words that you want to give?
Yes, I want to remind older people in Belize City that every week we have activities at Help Age between 2 and 4, every day except Thursdays when the executive does the shut-ins.
Okay.
But every day, they're invited to come to Help Age between 2 and 4. We have activities. On Monday and Tuesday, we play bingo.
I love it.
Wednesday is the exercise day. And then on Friday, they do worship and what you say, socialize. They socialize and do worship with one of their organizations. But we do have a week of activities every day, and this has been going on for many years because my mother used to attend.
Wow.
So I will tell you that Help Age has always been there for the elderly.
I love it. And people can make sure they volunteer and stop by too as
Oh, yes.
well. You know, lend a little hand for the young people that maybe just got off school, you know, and they're wondering, how can I give back my time?
Community service helps.
Community service.
Yes.
You don't have to, it doesn't have to be something where they're in a school for the community service. You can
Right.
legit just give back for the sake of giving back.
Yes,
Let's
yes.
extend ourselves. But we want to thank you so much for remembering the older persons and, you know, continuously keeping them loved because they so much deserve that.
Oh, yes.
Renata, I just want to add, and I think it's important because Help Age is just one entity. I think it's important for us to recognize, and I am aware that the National Council of Aging is looking at transformation. Because when the gaps that came out of, that always existed, but it was exposed with COVID, that we have to collectively join forces for legislative change, for policy change, to make a difference in the lives of older persons.
Ren?
Sorry.
Yes.
I thank you so much. And that is so true because that's the first step that we need to make. And remember, include them in the conversations because they have a lot to say, a wealth of knowledge to give off. With that, ladies, we thank you so much for this, and we look forward to seeing more great work that all of you doing, that Help Age is doing. Remember, there are 9 different day centers across the country. Then we have 2 residential homes. And so you can get involved. And not just in a Belize city, there's all over the country. So you right in your area can see where you can give your hand and help out. It's really about, you know, us getting up and doing, not just saying and thinking, man, that would be nice. Let's actually do it, guys. Let's actually do it. So I thank you so much, ladies, for being here.
It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you too.
Next time, I'm going to dance again here. I'll let you know after time. I'll be nice. Watch me, be nice.
I
But
came
next time-
prepared to dance.
You came prepared for dance?
Oh my gosh.
No problem.
You see, tell me this last minute because I'm going to make that just go ali, jujuj, and we might do ali, jujuj. With that, guys, we're going to go to our next commercial break. And when we are back, we're going to be talking about Orange Walk October 1st. Oh, no, we actually have giveaways. My bad, guys.
Winners.
See? The
It's time
winners.
for the
Yes, the
winners.
winners. I know there's a lot of people that have been waiting for that. So remember, we had our Let's Get Literate, hashtag Let's Get Literate competition. It was ongoing, and we have a wealth of different prizes. But remember, all kids that did a submission, you're winners. We love you, and we're going to announce these amazing little angels when we get back. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Good job.
We have